Hi, this is Brad Constantine, and this is a podcast recording of the Old Testament. Although this is not an official recording of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, every effort's been made to be as doctrinally accurate as possible. I'll be using for the text the Joseph Smith translation of the Old Testament, along with many commentaries from general authorities of the Church, BYU professors, Bible scholars, and others. This format will be very detailed, and so if you want a deep analysis of the Old Testament, you come to the right place. Thanks for your attendance. Welcome back. This is going to be for Isaiah 47. Verses 1 to 15 is Babylon shall be destroyed. So this is what this chapter is about, is the destruction of Babylon. Verse 1, come down and sit in the dust. This is where slaves work. O virgin daughter of Babylon. These are those that live a telestial law. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. Babylon was to be overthrown. This prophecy fulfilled by Cyrus in 539 BC. O daughter of the Chaldeans, in the Hebrew it says virgin daughter, i.e. the heretofore unconquered Babylonian Empire. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Leaders lived a pampered life. Verse 2, take the millstones, or prepare to become slaves, and grind meal. The wicked serve their master Satan, who delivers bondage and pain, not the promise of pleasure. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh. Nakedness as a spiritual metaphor means without preparation or without the protection of sacred covenants. So oftentimes when it mentions that there was nakedness, that that meant that there was no atonement that covered people. Not that there was no atonement, but that the atonement did not cover them because of their wickedness. Continuing verse 2, pass over the rivers, and this is on the way to exile, cross the Tigris or Euphrates into countries where the few survivors would serve as slaves. Verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. In other words, I will not negotiate or compromise in this matter. The Lord will not be the bridegroom for Babylon as he is for Israel. Verse 4, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. The righteous will look to the Lord for deliverance. Verse 5, sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness. You are going into exile, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Babylon will be totally humiliated militarily. Verse 6, I was wroth with thy people. I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Israel's Babylonian captivity is predicted. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient thou hast very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady or a mistress forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Babylon thought she could rule in wickedness forever. Verse 8, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, thou dwellest carelessly. Thou sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Babylon will be depopulated, and its king will be destroyed. Verse 9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, or in full measure, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. In other words, destruction will occur suddenly. Verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. Hugh Nibley wrote, Babylon is firm in the conviction that her system is a permanent one. In such possession of power, she can get away with anything and keep power indefinitely by crooked means, concealing her act. That'll be for a while, won't it, until Babylon is totally destroyed. Verse 11, therefore shall evil or tragedy come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Hebrew, ruin or calamity. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let not the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. These are types of people that will obtain counsel from in the last days. I wonder if these are those that are trying to predict the time of the second coming. I don't know. Verse 14, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants. From thy youth they shall wander, every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. So this is the sadness of those that are trusting in Babylon. But eventually Babylon will be destroyed, and those that had trusted in Babylon will be homeless, penniless, and without leadership. Anyway, that's the end of the chapter, and we'll see you next time. Bye.